If you've lived in your home for like 20, 30, 40 years or more, and some part of you knows you should probably move, but every time you think about actually doing it, your whole body just tenses up, I want you to hear this. That feeling, it isn't weakness and it isn't you being stubborn. It's your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. And once you understand what's really going on in there, the whole thing gets a whole lot easier. I'm going to give you the one mental shift that makes downsizing go from impossible to, honestly, kind of exciting. Here's the thing nobody tells you. When you feel stuck about moving, you think it's about logistics. All the stuff and moving up and down the stairs with all that stuff and where would we even go? But underneath all of that, the real driver is fear. Not dramatic, scary movie fear, the quiet kind, the kind that your brain runs in the background. You've got this little structure in your brain called the amygdala, I'm sure you've heard of it, and its entire job is to keep you safe by keeping you near what's familiar. And after 3 or 4 decades in the same house, your brain has filed that house under one giant label, safe. Same hallway every morning, same spot at the table every holiday. Your brain looks at all of that and goes, this is home, this is safe, it's the perfect place to live. So when you start thinking about selling, that same system lights up and floods you with all the reasons it can come up with to stay put. And here's the part I really need you to get, so don't click away because this is the whole ball game. Safe and healthy are not the same thing. Your brain kept you safe in that house back when you were raising kids, working full-time, running up and down those stairs 10 or 20 times a day without even thinking about it. But over the decades, your life changed. You changed, but the house didn't change, except it got dated and probably a little more worn out. But your brain is still running the old program, telling you to protect something that, if we're being honest, might be taking more from you now than it's giving back. The bigger utility bills, the maintenance that never ends, the rooms you don't even walk into anymore, but you're still heating, still cleaning, still paying property taxes and insurance on. And all the while, you're sitting on a mountain of dead equity that isn't really growing much. And when you consider the holding costs, there are many places that money could be parked that would give you a far better return and a more comfortable lifestyle. So that's the trap. Your brain is voting for safe when what you actually need is a living space that promotes good health while affording a better financial picture. Now let me show you how this plays out because I see it at the kitchen table all the time. The big one is regret. People say to me, Seb, what if we move and we regret it? And I get it, that fear is real, and I have to be honest, some people actually do regret moving. But here's what 20 plus years in this business has taught me, and stay with me because this flips most people's thinking completely around. While a small minority of people may come to regret selling the longtime family home, I find that in practice, most of the regret comes from not making the move sooner. Because when you wait, you don't avoid the move. You just hand the timing over to a crisis, a fall, a diagnosis, losing a spouse, and suddenly you're not choosing, you're scrambling. You're taking the first place that's available because you have to move right now, not because it fits your life. That's where the regret lives. When you move while you're healthy and clear-headed, you're in the driver's seat. You get to look around, take your time, pick the right spot, and then live in your own good decision for the next 20 years or more. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but Seb, our mortgage is paid off. Why would we ever sell? And on paper, I understand that sounds smart. But hang on, because this next part is where a lot of money hides. A home with an inexpensive mortgage is not a free house. You've still got the utilities on a place that's too big, the roof that's going to need replacing, the HVAC that won't last forever, the insurance, the taxes, the landscaping, the constant drumbeat of upkeep on a big aging house. And meanwhile, all that equity you've built, it's just sitting there, locked in the walls, earning you a great big fat zero while you pay to keep it standing. That equity could be funding travel, your healthcare, time with your grandkids, real peace of mind. Instead, it's heating bedrooms nobody sleeps in. And I haven't even gotten to the part most people don't want to say out loud, so stay with me one more minute. It's the family home thing. We raised our kids here, we should leave it for them. That one runs deep, and I never make light of it. But here's the gentle truth. In most cases, your kids don't need or even want the house. What they needed was you, and they got that. The memories aren't in the drywall, they're in you, and you carry them wherever you go. Call your kids and ask them. I dare you. Almost every single time when you do, they'll say something like, Mom, Dad, we just want you to be happy and your life to be easier. They're not coming back for the square footage. And in fact, in my experience, what they usually want is for you to move closer to be with them. Go ahead and ask. You might be surprised. So here's that one shift I promised you at the top, the thing that makes all of this click. Stop asking, where am I going to live for the rest of my life? That question is way too heavy. It's got all this finality baked into it, and it freezes people solid. Instead, ask what would make the next 10 or 15 years better, easier, and more fun. That's it. You're not signing a life sentence. You're choosing your next chapter. And if you want to move again in 10 years, great, you can do that too. When you reframe it that way, the fear loses its grip because you're not fighting your brain anymore. You're just making a really reasonable decision about your own life. And look, you don't have to figure this out alone. That's literally what I do every single day. I help folks 60 and up and their families work through exactly this. We run the real numbers, the honest ones, not the scary ones. We look at where you might actually want to go. I connect you with the organizers and the move managers so the overwhelm goes away. And when it's time, I get your home prepared and sold so you walk away with every dollar of equity you've earned over all those years. So if any of this hit home, and I have a feeling that it did, do me a favor, don't sit on it. Pick up the phone and call me directly at 408-596-1623. You can call or text anytime. I love texting 408-596-1623. That is my cell number. No pressure, no script, no sales pitch, just an honest conversation about what your next chapter could look like. Because your brain is always going to vote for staying safe. But you get to vote for the life you actually want to live. So give me a call, let's talk it over, and together we'll map out how to make your next move the best one yet.